Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to another episode of Let's Build a Theme Park. It's episode 96 and we continue where we left last episode with landscape kind of thing going on here. Kind of. Well, you know what I mean, I hope. And if not, then shame on you. Yeah, basically in the last episode we started to do the landscaping for the Rome area, the Rome section, and basically, as I said, we continue doing that in this episode. The first thing I did was basically, I mean you just saw it, but maybe you didn't understand it because you're, I don't know, daft or something. The most important thing is the path, at least in my opinion. So the first thing I mapped out was the path layout, and then now to and now I can fill up the rest of the area with the landscaping, because now I know where the path is and where not to build any mountains because there is a path, and where I can build mountains because there is no path. So that's basically it. Yeah, here we have to remove another of our little exits, emergency exits, but no big deal, I guess. A little bit more tricky was doing the inside here, basically because the coaster was kind of in the way. It's always more tricky to landscape underneath a existing coaster than build the coaster over existing landscape. So normally the other way around would be more would be easier to do and would look better from a coaster standpoint, because maybe if you build the coaster first and then you put the landscape underneath it, then it doesn't really look like a terrain coaster. Then you kind of see that the coaster was there first and then the landscaping was made afterwards. But since I'm not doing like a real terrain coaster here with the flying coaster, it's just the one turn, so it doesn't matter here. But if you watch the German episodes, the old ones before I started doing the English versions too, then you saw it with the big wooden coaster with Ragnarok, where I basically built the mountain first and then put a coaster on top of it and edited the mountain so that it would fit like in a good way. But the main structure of the mountain was there before I built the coaster. And here's the other way around, but okay. I had a comment in the comment section, where somebody told me to name the Lokflam Aqueduct. But the big problem is that I don't think the Lokflam looks anything like an aqueduct. So, and just naming it aqueduct doesn't make the whole thing better. I mean, I'm looking for a name, and maybe I have to redo huge parts of the Rome area because I don't like them anymore. So I have to retheme many of it. And maybe I change the layout for the Lokflam a little bit so that I can actually put it like a little aqueduct kind of thing in there, and then there would be no problem calling Lokflam Aqueduct. But in its state right now, I don't want to call it aqueduct just because it doesn't look like an aqueduct. So now finishing this side of the mountain. When I say mountain, I really mean this small hill. I mean, Ragnarok is on a mountain, that's like a proper mountain, but this one is like just a little hill. Nothing too spectacular. So if I say mountain, I mean hill, so please forgive me. What I want to do here is I want to do a restaurant in the Rome section, like a proper restaurant, where I can sit outside and I don't know, watch the coaster, the people vomiting on the coaster or something. So just a nice little restaurant where you can watch people vomiting. I mean, that's the best thing there is out there, I guess. So basically that's what I want to do here. And because in other parts of the park, I have other restaurants too. I mean, we have a big restaurant in the Yamatai area, we have a big restaurant in the entrance area, we have a big restaurant in the Hanse area, and we have a small restaurant in the Forgotten World area, but they are always either like real food or candy and ice cream stuff. And in the Rome section I wanted to do one big restaurant where there is ice cream, where there is candy, where there are chicken McNuggets, where there are fries and everything. So everything in one big restaurant. And that's basically what I'm doing here. That's why it's so big, and that's why there are so many stalls and things where you can buy stuff to eat. The only big problem was that I didn't have any more space to put the toilets in, so I decided to put the toilets a little bit further away from the restaurant, underneath the hill. I think it's okay. I guess. I mean, of course, in a real restaurant there would be toilets in the restaurant itself, but since it is, after all, it is a theme park, and it's there are not always toilets directly in a theme park restaurant. I mean, in the good theme parks and in the good restaurants, yes, but not in. For example, in the holiday park, there is a restaurant. There is a restaurant, and there is no toilet in there. You have to go out of the restaurant, then walk like 100 meters, and then there's the toilet, but not in the restaurant. And that's basically what I'm doing here. It's a little. No, I don't know. No, I don't want to say it's like in a holiday park, because that's not true. But it's kind of like in the holiday park. Yeah, here I searched for the Latin word of restaurant, but basically there is no Latin word for restaurant. I found out later in a later episode, after I spoke with some friends, that I may use the word taverna or taverne, but there are no real restaurants in Rome at that time, so they didn't have words for it, of course. I mean, it's like in any other language too. If there's no need to do a word, then you don't do the word. That's really difficult to explain with the modern languages, but okay. For example, in a country where there is no internet and no computers and everyone lives in caves and nobody plays football, then there would be no word for football or internet or computer or cave. No, well, cave. They would have words for caves because they live in it, but not for the rest. Yeah, here the big problem with the return was that the roof of the restaurant killed a support, so the support vanished, and without this particular support it just looks, as you can see right now, it just looks so stupid. So I thought maybe doing a custom, not well, a custom support without custom objects there, but then I couldn't have put a sign in place, and without a sign it would look stupid too. So well, basically what I did is I removed the roof thing, and now it looks highly dangerous because the supports are basically standing on top of a wooden structure with no real supports underneath the wooden structure, but it looks better than having either no supports or this very big support that would just look stupid. So basically better, well, it both looks stupid, but this one looks less stupid than with the big support or with no supports at all. Jeez. As you can see, I changed the colors a little bit because I said in the last episodes that the lower part of Rome, of the Rome section, would be like not like the slums, but the not so wealthy people that live there. So I wanted it to have a distinctive, not so wealthy look about it. Does that make sense? No, it doesn't. Well, who cares? And here is the restaurant is part of the higher, the wealthier section of Rome. So I wanted to have it have different colors in it, and generally different structure, different kind of structure. I'm not sure if I got it all right. For example, the windows. I would love to change the windows now, just to make it a little bit more different from the other areas, or the other area right now. But it's something I have to do later on. Right now I don't really have. I mean, what? Well, what did I mean? I have no idea what I wanted to say. It must have been really stupid, I guess, or otherwise I would not forget it. But maybe it was just me whining about the park, the episode being so old that I. Oh, for fuck's sake, just forget what I said. It's stupid. Really stupid, but okay. You all know that I'm stupid, so no big surprise there. What I did here is like a little backstage area, where the employees in the restaurant and the employees of the dark ride can, when they have breaks, then they can come out there and have a little seat and eat something and drink something and chat a little bit and, well, I don't know, or go back to the other backstage areas to, I don't know, get a piss or something. Backstage areas is something I didn't do in the park, like at all, right now. This one is it's the only backstage area I have. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. I guess neither good nor bad. But it's something I want to focus more in my next parks. Not in Let's Build a Theme Park, because basically I would have to destroy huge parts of the park to insert to do backstage areas there, and I don't want to do that. So they have to wait till the next park I do, and there I will focus more on backstage areas because they are pretty, not funny but interesting, and I do want to do them in the future. So, but that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't notice yet, we do have Twitter now. The link to the Twitter account is in the description, and it would be great if you follow us on Twitter. And thanks for watching, and till next time, goodbye.